Hi, I'm Adam Bennett, co-producer and editor of this documentary. Over the past 2 weeks, me and my partner Emily have been making this documentary here at Allen High School, highlighting the most important staff that make Allen such a special place.
This is Heidi Hughes, a Phoenix English 3 teacher that has been teaching some of Allen's most gifted students for almost 13 years.
Teaching is the most difficult job that I've ever had. It's the one that doesn't stop. When I start in August, I'm full on until May. It's difficult to try to balance family with school because as an English teacher, when I pick up an assignment, that's a huge commitment of time. So it consumes my life, and if I didn't love it, I couldn't do it. I try to manage my time as best I can, and I try not to take work home, but that means that in the fall especially, I'm not getting home till 8:30, 9 o'clock, most nights, just because of the grading load that's involved. Plus, in order for me to teach effectively, I have to meet one-on-one with students, so there's a lot of tutoring time involved and whatnot. So I'm so fortunate that I love my students because I'm spending so much time here, and I'm so fortunate that I love to give feedback and help writers grow, because that time that I'm in the classroom until 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, it's time well spent. It's energy that I feel like is important, and I feel good when I close my classroom door and I go home. So it's been a job that is truly fulfilling. The relationships that I get to build with students, because I do read things like their college essays that are from their hearts. I mean, they have to really come up with stories that indicate who they are, so I get to know them on a deep level. And the amount of stories that we share by sharing books with one another has been a really rewarding experience. So it's a difficult but amazing and rewarding job, and I love it. Sometimes I'm exhausted in the fall. The spring is better, and the reason the spring is better is because so much critique has gone back and forth that by the spring the students are writing much better papers, and so I'm doing much less marking, and so that's good. But I think the downside is the time commitment. It really is. It's not a 40-hour week by any means. It's huge, and like I said, it's the most difficult job I've ever done. And one of the reasons it's so difficult is it doesn't stop. When I go home, even though I'm not grading, I'm thinking about students. I'm thinking about, how can I get so-and-so to understand that analysis aspect of things, or what can I do to my lesson plan to make it even more effective? How can I tweak it so it reaches more students, so more students understand? I was attracted to Allen because of the people here. I felt comfortable here. The facility is so well kept, and it's just a great school. So the proximity to home and just the overall components that Allen has. Having the studio right in the building, and the things that we've done as far as integrating more STEM aspects of curriculum, and the STEM Center, the STEAM Center, is exciting to see come on board. And the one town aspect of the school, that we're not divided, that we are trying to keep the town together in the one, high school town, which I think is really admirable. I have wonderful colleagues. Diane Wheatley and I compare notes. My dear departed friend Caroline Roberts was always someone who I could go to and run lesson plans by. Yeah, I have a great group of colleagues. All the people on the GT team, Stephanie Carmen, Blaine Mountain. There are so many teachers that I look up to and I look forward to working with every day. Although I haven't taught in other school districts, I have, as a part of your teaching degree, you have to visit other districts. And I've visited several schools in Dallas, where I shadowed people and so forth. And in terms of the schools that I've been at, the demographics are a little bit different. But what I've seen here in Allen that's been really interesting is 13 years ago when I started here, the percentage of white students as compared to other ethnicities was quite a bit larger than it is now. So it's been wonderful to see the integration of multiple ethnicities and to see the fabric of the school change and be much more diverse. I've really enjoyed that. Every year that I walk into the classroom, I end up meeting a great group of kids. This particular year, when we went through PhoenixCon, which was then called Simulation, the students involved me in the opening video quite a bit, and it was great. And they did this, their theme was about childhood, going back to your childhood. And there was one day where they were, in the set, they were playing The Floor is Lava. And so it was great. They were just screaming, "The floor is lava!" And we all jumped up on the desks, and it was fun and wonderful, and we were jumping from desk to desk, and not maybe the best thing as far as safety was concerned, but I had an eye on them, and it was just an amazing time. It was really fun. We had a particularly great conversation. I think it was 2 years ago. A student had read A Thousand Splendid Suns. Okay, and so it's very culturally different from our culture. And the student was reading aloud some rules, such as if a woman wears if a woman wears makeup, she will be beaten. If you know, and if a person is, I don't know, they were quite different than our culture, and the immediate knee-jerk reaction was, "That's ridiculous. That's totally ridiculous. That's insane. Anybody would do that," which was wonderful because then I could come back and say, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a minute. We don't follow those rules in this culture. But what if the rules are designed because the thought is that God made this person, so to take the image that God put out there and deface it by marking it with something other than God's image, what if that's the reason for the rule?" Which was just mind-blowing for students. They were like, "Whoa, never would have thought of it that way. Let's talk about that." And then we had several students talk about situations that they encountered because of racism, and it gave them a platform and a voice to be able to say it was so debilitating and so hurtful, and so it was just a wonderful class conversation. I love my job. I'm so absolutely thrilled that I get to do this job. Every year I think when the door closes in May, oh, I'm never going to see a group as great as that again. You know, it's just going to, how can another class top that? And I do have, you know, several classes over the years that stand out that are like, that group was so, the chemistry of those students was so great. One year I had a class, a first period class, that only had 12 students in it. It was magical. It was a wonderful experience. But every single year, I have those students who are so motivated, who bring something else into my life, some joy of reading or some amazing ability to write or some tragedy that they've gone through and come out as a stronger person. And so every single year I just meet more new and incredible people that I didn't think it was possible for me to meet. And I've just enjoyed my teaching experience so much, and I look forward to more years doing that.
This is Darren Hayes, a U.S. Army veteran turned forensics and chemistry teacher here at Allen High School.
I enlisted in '86, straight out of high school into the U.S. Army, and I became an armored crewman specialist, M1A1 tanks. Started as a loader and ended up as a tank commander. I was actually on my way to college and I realized I need money. And it just so happened they had an Army commercial on there for the Montgomery bill. Enlist and you get so-and-so thousands of dollars for college. I said, okay, and the rest is history. My first duty station was in Fort Carson, Colorado, Colorado Springs, and then I was shipped to Gelnhausen, Germany, which is near Frankfurt, and this was before the wall came down. So I was there before, during, and after the wall came down. There was a gentleman from Colorado Springs that I've known since '86, and we just got back into contact this year on Facebook, and we've spent, I don't know, hours on the phone just reminiscing about all this stuff we've done. You know, all the crazy stuff that, you know, we did growing up. I got to experience things that I don't think a lot of people get to experience. You know, I was able to live in Germany for 3 years. You know, I was part of history in Germany when the wall came down. I've made lifelong friends, you know, on a real strong, with real strong bonds, you know. And it's the kind of friends that you don't talk to in 20, 30 years, and then you pick up the phone and it's just like you were talking to them yesterday, you know. And, you know, there's other things that you encounter that, you know, people will never know, that you and your friends know. And so those are positive things in the military, you know. And would I trade it? No, I like it too much. I was on my way through school to become a pediatrician or a pediatric surgeon. And I had finished my undergraduate work, and I started to substitute teach before acceptance into med school. And as I started teaching more and more, you know, long-term sub-assignments, I really liked it. I felt that that was something I should be doing. And so I withdrew from my med school. I withdrew my med school application and took a job full-time at the 7th grade level in biology, and I haven't regretted it. You know, it's been a real good career.
Allen ISD is known far and wide for their football accomplishments. We decided to sit down with head coach Terry Gamble to understand the culture of Allen football.
My name's Terry Gamble. I'm the head football coach, assistant athletic director here at Allen High School. I've been here as the head football coach now going on my 3rd year. I was here for 9 years previous as the defensive coordinator, and it's just great being here at Allen. It's a place where my family could come and we could grow as a family. All of my kids were in school at that time, and we thought that it was just a great place for a family to raise their kids and be involved in the community. How do I try to connect with my athletes is a way that I want to see them grow as people, not as athletes. When we're playing the sport of football, I want to see them grow in that area, but the most important thing that I think is for an athlete to grow as a person, because if he grows as a person, then the athletic part comes with it. I think if a person is growing in areas of development for us, him getting better from an education, him spiritually, everything that he does in his life, that he's growing and he's becoming a better person. And we call it in our athletic program, BAM, be a man. So when you wake up in the morning, you got to put 2 feet on the ground and you got to become a man. Every day of your life, you have that opportunity. And to me, it's an opportunity to show people how good are you as a person. I think when I get to come to work every day, I thoroughly enjoy it. That's why I'm in the profession. I've been coaching now for 34 years, and I don't really consider it work. I consider it something that I get to go and do. I know a lot of people have to go to work, but I don't consider Coach Gamble having to go to work. It's something that I get to do. I just think working in Allen's an honor. I think that myself, I get to be around a lot of coaches. I get to be around a lot of players. I get to be around an administrative staff that loves Allen ISD. I think the neat thing about Allen that people take for granted is how special and how good it is. Allen's a special place. Allen is a great place to be at, and I just consider myself to be what a great opportunity for me, and I'm thankful to be able to work here. Well, I've been coaching for 34 years now, and from when I started, when you're young, you think you know a lot. and you just continue to grow. I continue to learn every day. I learn things from players, I learn things from our coaches, I learn things from just people, being around so many people, and I think that's what's neat because you have the opportunity to grow. I learn something all the time from people, and when you're around people, you're going to grow and you're going to learn. We also talk about we will win. What are you winning at? Are you winning in the classroom? Are you winning in your decisions off the field on the weekends? Are you winning in the classroom when you have the opportunity to make an A, or do you just settle for a C? How are you winning in life? And I think they go hand in hand. We will win. What are you going to do to win in life, not on the field? That takes care of itself. And then how do you become this well-rounded person as a man? I think that the commitment of our players, how dedicated they are to each other, how committed they are to the process of being a successful program. It takes a team. It's not about people. It's not about individuals. So you can't be selfish. You got to be unselfish, and you got to consider, number one, what does it take to be successful? And then number two, how are you going to help the team be successful? Well, being a coach here at Allen, you're in the public view as far as who you are, and this community is very, very special. We've got a great community in Allen because the community has put Allen ISD as their #1 priority. So to me, being able to come to work here every day at Allen is very, very special. To me, I'm sometimes a father figure, sometimes I'm their coach, sometimes I'm a person that just has to sit back and listen, and then sometimes I've got to be a person that holds them accountable. So I wear a lot of hats. I'm a role model, I hope, to all our student athletes, and I hope that I'm doing a great job of it. I have to evaluate myself daily. I have to evaluate myself every year. I have to understand what it takes to relate to young people and just be in that position. So it's a person that wears a lot of different types of titles, hats, whatever you want to call it, but I hope, #1, that they understand that Coach Gamble loves them.